What up YouTube, this is Puppet Master here with the Legion Duelist, bringing you a special video from all of our new first-time duelists. Now for all of us old duelists, we know that whenever we go to a regional tournament, there's always going to be that one kid, or two or three, or a whole group of them, that just has a stack of cards, and they're calling it their deck, that they want to duel with. Now, while they're trying to make their deck, or while they think it will work around casual play, we all know that those kind of decks don't really hold up too well in competitive meta. So this deck is geared towards getting those first-time duelists up and running with a pretty competitive deck. Whenever I make a deck, I normally follow a 4-step procedure for picking the cards I'm going to choose for the deck. The first step I use is what is inspiring me. What card is really getting me going on the deck? Is it some real strong monster I saw from a movie? Is it an awesome win condition card one of my friends showed me? Is it an archetype full of cards that are really great? Is it some synchro that I've never seen before that I think is pretty cool? Or is it just a really good monster that we somehow happen to pull? All these are different great cards and inspiring to make a deck. The second step you're going to choose for the deck is what's going to help support a win condition. Without a win condition, your deck's pretty much useless. Now, win conditions can range from anything from an Exodia win, final countdown type win, to just swarming the field and beating your opponent down. But you need to have a set goal in mind. If your goal is to beat your opponent down, you don't really want to have a deck that just stalls out forever. You want to have a deck that's fast-paced and that'll get to your opponent. So there's lots of cards out there that you can find to help and support your win condition. Like if you're going to run a zombie deck, you might think, well, it's a zombie deck, I'm going to put some zombies in. But if you're filling your deck full of Pharaoh's Servant and other vanilla zombies, you might not be pulling out a win condition as much as you would with, say, a Zombie Master Goblin with Glut Bulb Trish combo. If you're going to rely on stuff like that, then you have a better chance of winning. The next and third step is support cards to help you reach your goal. I think to myself, what cards could I put in this deck to help me get my goal faster? Cards such as Charge of the Light Brigade for Light Swarms, Rhoda for your Warriors. Just generic cards, you have Sandin, Monster Reborn. Both good cards for helping you, get your stuff back out. There's also some more expensive cards that, hey, if you happen to pull them, way to go, like Pot of Duality. It's a great card, helps you get through your deck, helps you find what you need. There's also synchro monsters that you can put in your extra deck that'll really help getting your goals across, like Brianna, getting rid of all your problems, or Trish, getting rid of all your problems and problems to come. All these cards can help really get your deck going, as well as draw power cards, such as Allure of Darkness or Solar Recharge if you want to use Light Swarms. Now, the fourth step I normally do in constructing a deck is, what cards do I want to put in this deck that are going to hinder my opponent or stop him from making his goal? You got to remember that every player is trying to win. So if he's playing against you, he's probably got some kind of trick or some clever plot up his sleeve. So you're going to want some cards to put him down, like Book of Moon. Super staple card that you can use to stop your opponent from synchroing, stop him from attacking for game. Trap Dust Shoot gets him early on in the game. It can prevent him from even starting out with any of their combos. Dark Bribe stops them from setting up their OTK plays. If they try to Trunade you and push, you can stop them with that. Bottomless Trap Hole just gets rid of issues you have. And in your extra deck, you can also have cards that can prevent your opponent from doing stuff, such as Stardust Dragon. Stardust Dragon will just shut down any destruction they do. So these are the 4 steps I generally take when I make a deck. I figure out what I want to do, I think of a win condition, I find what cards I have to support that, and then what cards I can use to prevent that. Now, to go over an example of a deck, a while ago when Ragnarok came out, bought a box and pulled 2 shi-ens. This card inspired me. I thought, hey, I have the 2 shi-ens, why not just go for a deck? So this is the process I took. I got my card that inspired me, and I started thinking, what do I want to do for a win condition? Well, as with most samurai players, no matter how hurt dirt the deck is, they generally try to swarm the field, shut your opponent down, and just beat your opponent to death. So card choices for that, Grandmaster of the 6. He special summons himself, and he's a really strong attacker. Kizans, the same deal, special summons himself and is fast. Tuners that are archetype specific are really good for helping to advance your deck. They really help a win condition, especially if they're the archetype, because you get all kinds of support for it. Cards to bring out other cards. And these cards can be used to help combo faster, help get your pulls that you need. So these are all cards that I use for a win condition. The next, I thought, what cards can I do to speed that up? Gateway of the 6, great card for samurais. 6 Samurai United allows me to draw faster. Drawing is always great in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Shi-en Smoke Signals helps you search through the deck. Upstart Goblin mills through the deck. All these cards are based around getting to my stuff as fast as I can. Rhoda, they're all warriors, and Monster Reborn. So as the final step, I think to myself, what cards do I need to prevent my opponent from doing what he's going to do? Book of Moon stops your opponent's synchros. Giant Trunade prevents your opponent's all of his setups. MSTs, really good cards. They stop your opponent from having their own bottomlesses. Stops your opponent from activating that Royal Decree for his setup. You can have interesting cards, like Dimensional Fissure. If your deck doesn't, rely on the grave too much, Dimensional Fissure might be a good choice because it'll prevent your opponent from using his graveyard, which will greatly shut him down in this format. Solemn Warnings. They might be a little bit pricey as of now, but it might be a good investment because they stop your opponent from doing their plays. If you can get them down turn 1, you might be able to secure a victory easily with these. Musagami, another M word that I can't pronounce. They're really good for preventing my opponent's destruction. Helps me out. 7 Tools of the Bandit. Prevents those traps. Royal Oppression. A key card in shutting your opponent down. This card is very renowned for just shutting down decks. Solemn Judgment. Great for preventing combos. Dust Shoot. Just like an MST. And Hand of the Samurai and Yaichi. While these are monsters and you think they go for a win condition, these are more of tech choices. The hand will help you to shut down your opponent's monsters or his Raikos if he's planning on doing that kind of a play. And Yaichi can act just like a MST or a Dust Tornado. So this is the basic idea that I know I go through when I go to make a deck. And even nowadays in competitive play, when I'm thinking about going to nationals, I think, well, what should I use to inspire myself? Should I go with something generic, or should I, see a Judgment Dragon and say, hey, I think that's a cool card, and let's go for that, or the Jurak Meteor. Then think of your support. What are you going to do for your win condition? Then, what am I going to do to help me get to that faster? My positive type tech choices. And then, what am I going to do to prevent my opponent? Because, he's going after the same thing you are, so you need to be able to shut him down fast. Well, thanks for watching. This is Puppet Master with the Legion Duelist. Please subscribe. Sorry about the lack of videos, taking on a full-time job, and with school coming back up, things can get a bit hectic, but I promise more videos are coming. So this is Puppet Master with the Legion Duelist, signing out.